Hello, everyone. Welcome to another night of stamping. I am Sarah Simon. I'm going to get rid of that a little bit. There we go. That light was a little bit too bright. And I am an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, and I'm located in Appleton, Wisconsin. So many of you have jumped on. Sonia, Jean, and um, Joan, I think it is, or Joe, and Melanie, and Sarah, Karen, Cheryl, Marge, Kay, Karen, Kelly, Julie. Wow, so many of you. I right before I went live, I kid you not, it said 1 minute and 30 seconds to going live. And I'm like looking at my desk going, okay, where are my cards from last week? Okay, here they are. And then I saw the creative challenge there from last month. I got to go down a little bit. There we go. That's a little bit better. Okay. I saw the creative challenge from last month. And I'm like, shoot, I never got my wheel of names set up. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make the cards. And at the end, actually, you know what? Maybe we'll try to get all the names in the wheel of names. I was going to pull it up on my phone and then put it in and then share it with you so that you could see, because I have to pick it today because I'm going to be on next week. I can't believe after I said that in the post that I forgot to do it. I had all the cards done before I got home tonight, but I had to cut everything. And I also had to type up all of the dimensions. I had them all written down, but I had to type them up. And so that always takes a little bit, whoops, I don't want to go live. There we go. It always takes just a little bit longer than I think it's going to. And so, of course, I was scrambling here at the end, and I still have to get those names in. So let me do this. Let me go ahead. Last week we made this cute little card with the doggies, and we made this card with that designer paper that you can get for $5 if you place a $75 order. This is our product of the month for February. Okay, our creative challenge, this is one of the cards. I don't know that I have the other card sitting here. I ended up I think I gave maybe both of them away. This was a Valentine's card. But many of you entered that. And so I'm going to go to my wheel of names. What's really nice is that it keeps all my names in there that were in there last time. And so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go through and I think I'm going to alphabetize them. Let's see, sort them. Oh, it's alphabetizing them by the first name. So Karen Kozaleski is there. This way I can make sure I have them all in. Donna Deppner and Sandy Calloway and Anna Rebedu. Beautiful cards, ladies. Julie Gressel. Tammy Litsky was in there last time. Jean Maxwell, she was there last time too. Jeanne was not, so let's add Jeanne. Oh, yeah, sure, Jeanne. Yes, you were in there last time. Okay, Linda Kester was in there last time. Aileen Humphreys was not, so let's go ahead and add her. I know you can't see these, but I will show you as soon as I have them all in here. Goodness, I cannot believe that I forgot to do that. Oh, and I have caps locks on. Goodness gracious. There we go. I'm just going to put Aileen H because I don't have another one. All right, let's see. And we've got Amy Klaus, and she was not in there last time. So we will add her. So many new people. I apologize. I'm not at my comments right now. So let me just double check to make sure there's nothing big going on in the comments. Nope. Okay. All right. So Amy Klaus I added. Debbie Lindauer was in there last time. Karen Roofing was not in there last time. So we will add Karen. All right. And Mary Van Domelin was in there last time because she won. And Sarah New was in there last time. And Tammy Markwart was in there last time. And Marcia Cullibert was not, so we will add her. Thank you guys for being so patient. I want to make sure everybody's in here that needs to be in here. And Doreen Deppner and Nancy Hippis is in there. And Michelle Jones is in there. And Amanda was not. So Amanda, I will add you. I always spell that wrong. O-H. I always put the H in this wrong spot, Amanda, with your name. Do people spell it wrong all the time? Becky Weisky, Kathy Kessler, Marge is in there. And that's everyone. So I do not believe I said Chris Posey. So we'll take, or Posey. I will take her out. And I did not say Lynn Schlerweiler, so we'll take her out. And everyone, oh, I did not say Sonia. Sonia's on here. Did you submit one, Sonia? I hope I'm saying your name correctly. I don't see one in here from you this time. Let me go through them again. I do not. So if you did, let me know. Tammy Litsky, Amy Markwart. Okay, so then everybody else is in there. So that didn't take me too long. It's helpful that I have them in there already. She did not. Okay, perfect. So let me go ahead and let me share my screen. Let me go down here and do this. And let me share my screen with that. There we go. Hopefully you can see that. Let me just double check. Yep, it looks like you can. All right, so let's go ahead and shuffle and shuffle and shuffle and shuffle and shuffle and shuffle a whole bunch of times. And then I will click it to spin it. That didn't take too long. I was so worried because I was like, oh my goodness, I didn't have that done. Oh, that was really, really close. So Donna, I will make sure that I transfer over $30 before I leave for Florida tomorrow. I will make sure that I transfer that over to you so that you can purchase whatever it is you would like to purchase. So how this works is if you participate in my creative challenge, you get entered into that drawing. And then I put all those names in at the end of the month. The person who wins gets $30 in Stampin' Rewards. So that way you can order whatever you want. And you have 3 months to order something. So if Donna wants to wait for a couple of months until she sees something, because she's got everything that she needs right now, then she can wait and do it when she wants to. All right, I did get some happy mail. Cindy Winkleman, who is on my team, and her husband he's been sick for years and she takes care of him. And so stamping is kind of her therapy. But she's not been able to come the last couple months, but she dropped this off and it was a little Valentine's Day. And look what she made. It's a little chain and she took little shrinky dinks and she stamped on them and colored them. And then she put them in the oven and they shrink up like this. And she added them to a little keychain. So thank you, Cindy, for that. And then I received this from Anna May. Look at those cute toadstools, mushrooms, and they're so adorable. And she was thanking me for a Christmas gift that she finally got for being on my team. So great happy mail that I received this week. So thank you so much. All right, a couple of announcements, and then we'll get to stamping since it took me longer to do the awards than it should have. A couple of things just as quick reminders. Have until the 28th, which is Saturday, to use any of your bonus days. If you're not going to use those coupons, they are no good starting March 1st. So if you have a friend that you know is going to place an order, you can share with them what your code is, so that they can get the $5 off. But if you don't use it by the 28th, it's no longer good. So if you know someone who might be placing an order, go ahead and let them know. Hello, Patty. And Karen jumped on. A couple of you said congratulations to Donna. Yes, congratulations. All right. And then the other thing is, this goes until March 2nd, which is next week, Monday. If you would like to join my team, I'll be in Florida, but I'd be happy to help you if you need any help. But if you're thinking that you want to place with all of these new products that are coming out, if you would like to get them early before they might possibly sell out, some things are on back order already. They are coming in soon. But if you would like to place an order for some of these things before they even go live on March 3rd, you could join my team, and for $99, you can pick $125 worth of products. You will get this stamp and positioner for free. It's a $49 value, and you will enjoy on any of your orders after that at least a 20% discount. And so I'd be happy to give you the discount on your products if you would like something like that. So I just wanted to remind you that's going on only until March 2nd. And on March 3rd, when the new products online exclusives come out, it will be done. So a couple of things that Stampin' Up! Announced this week that I wanted to share with you. We can share them, I believe, now. I hope I can share them. But some of our prices are going to be increasing because it's just costing more. Everything is costing more, right? All prices are going up and things like that. And so they are going to be increasing the cost of most of our adhesives. So if you're at a point where you feel like you need some adhesives and you want to get those before the price increase in May, I just want to let you know that. Things like linen thread, which is super cheap, but the price is going to be going up a little bit. And blends are going to be going up. So if there's any blends that you need to replace or you wanted to get before they go up, make sure that you order those before the beginning of May, when the new price increase is going to take effect. Also, Stampin' Up! Has announced that with next year, they are going to be doing a color refresh. So that happens about every, I would say, 5 to 6 years they do this. So what they look at is what colors have we used a lot of and what haven't we? And maybe there were some in colors that people really loved, like Pretty in Pink is going to be done, right? Is that one going out? Yeah, that one's going out. Peach Pie is going to be going out at the end of April. If that's a color that was really popular and they want to bring it back, then they would bring it back. When they do this color refresh, they're also making new ink pads. And I got to see the video of the ink pads. It's going to be different. Everything's going to be different. But they're trying to do what's best. They are going to go back to the linen ink pads, but they've changed it. So I know we had linen before and we went to this foam. This linen is different than the types of pads that we had before. They're going to have a magnetic cover. So I know some people that come to my classes have a hard time opening these. So instead of having to open it like this and slide it in, you just have to pick up the cover and you just take the bottom part of it and you put it upside down and you set it right on top of it. So they are going to be pretty cool. But I just want to let you know that those changes are coming. Also, there will not be a big annual catalog coming out in May. They have decided to go to a little bit smaller. I think they're going to be just a little bit bigger than our current mini catalogs that we have, but 3 times a year. So for 4 months, a catalog. So the first catalog will be from May, June, July, August through August. And then it'll be September through September, October, November, December, and so forth. And so that will be a little bit different. And then it'll be January until April. So there will no longer be that annual catalog. But they will have, they said in the catalog, they will have like all of the colors and things like that on an index page. They're also going to do less of the pictures of people stamping and more of the samples of cards and things that you can do with the stamps that are there. So there's a lot of scuttlebutt about all of it. I try to stay positive. I try to say they're trying to do what's best for the customers, I believe, so that they can keep costs down. And so I'm just hopeful that everything's going to go great. And I think if you keep a positive attitude about it, that it just makes it a little bit easier than complaining about it, right? What does complaining do? Absolutely nothing except for make you feel bad. So I'm not complaining about it because I think it's going to be a new change, something different that we'll have to get used to. But all change is hard, but a lot of change is good. So I just wanted to let you know that that is coming up. Let's get to stamping. How about that? We are going to do, for the first card, I'm going to do what my creative challenge is for the month of March. So March, you're going to have a little bit longer because it's the 26th today. So you've got 2 days and you've got 31 days in March, although I'm probably going to be doing on the 28th. I will probably, so you probably will only have 28 days is when I will be picking the winner. So let me go ahead and switch my cameras here to my workspace. That's really dirty, but we're going to probably be stamping on that a little bit. All right, let me get this out of here. Here is our March Creative Challenge, and I will have a picture of this along with the card. Now, my Creative Challenge is going to be a couple of weeks ago. I did a diamond tower card. And I did it where the diamond was on the left side and then there was like just some DSP on the right side. And it was a flower. I think I actually have one here. Let me show you. This is the card I'm talking about that I did. So we had a diamond. Oops, those are the directions. We had a diamond on the left-hand side, and we had this little strip. And then when we popped the diamond up and it stood up, this little greeting popped out. Okay. Last week, I showed you a card that I received from Marge, and Marge is on here. Beautiful card. But this was my inspiration for our creative challenge for this month. So this is a center diamond pillar card. So instead of the diamond being on the side, the diamond is now in the center. And so we're going to make one of these. Isn't Marge's card beautiful? We are going to use some new product that will be available on March 3rd as an online exclusive. So you have seen some of this stuff. Most of the things like the stamp set that I'm using tonight is different. The second card, the paper and the bundle is different. So at least you're getting a chance to see a whole bunch of different things. All right. So when that new online exclusives become available on Tuesday, if there's something that you're waiting for, hopefully you can get on and get what you would like. All right. So for our card base, we actually, and we're using Secret C here. These measure 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. So I'm still using a half a sheet of paper, but I'm cutting it in half. And each one of these is scored at, and I can bring this up so you can see it a little bit better, 3/4 of an inch, 2 3/4 of an inch, and 4 3/4 of an inch. So both of them are scored at the exact same spot. All right, and you know what? I think I forgot to cut these. So I think I have it right here. So what I did when I made my little pieces, I cut something that was 1 1/2 inches wide. Okay, so this piece is 1 1/2 inches wide, and I scored it at 3/4 of an inch because I knew I was going to make a couple of cards like this. This was a lot easier for me to do than to cut this at 1 inch and then have to score that little thing. So I took a whole big strip that was 1 1/2 inches. I scored it at 3/4. And now I'm going to bring my paper trimmer in here and I'm going to cut these at 1 inch. Okay, because I need them at 1 inch by 1.5. This is the 1.5. So I'm going to go ahead and cut it at 1 and cut another one at 1. All right, I've got something sitting up here, so I can't push my paper trimmer in any closer, so it's kind of sitting there. There we go. Look at my, don't want to touch anything on my keyboard and start turning things off. I already did that with my mouse. Let's see here. There we go. All right, so those are those two pieces. Then on the back, I'm going to put a greeting panel. Hi, Lisa. And oh, good. So it looks like, is it Joe or Jean? Jean said that she made her Valentine's with this. So this will be easy for you to enter into the creative challenge. You can just show your Valentine to everyone. All right, so I have 2 white panels that are 1 3/4. Let me find them. Okay, so they're 1 3/4 by 4. All right. Where did I just, oh, there they are, underneath. Okay, so we'll put those underneath as well. I have DSP. I have 2 pieces that are going to be my center. These measure 1 3/4 by 4. I cut them so that they were together. So I'm going to want this one on the left-hand side and this one on the right-hand side. But if I went like this, you're not really going to tell that much of a difference. Okay, so if you flip them up, that's okay. I have 4 pieces that are 1/2 by 4, and this is usually one that's a little bit toned down a little bit, kind of more of the neutrals. So this is basically just the back of this. All right, so I used both sides of that paper. And then whatever you want to use for your pop-up piece. So if you look at what Marge did for hers, she cut like this rectangle, and then she put a greeting over the top of it like that. I decided for my greeting, what I wanted to use was one of our new bundles. And I set it over here. It's called Scalloped Wishes. So it has a happy graduation with sincere thanks. We're going to use I'm here for you if you need me. Take care. So very happy for you. That would go with the happy graduation. It has these beautiful kind of like, I don't know, they kind of look like lace edging that's scalloped. And then the dies, we've got this little cattails and a little dragonfly. And then along with having the pieces to cut out those cattails and to cut out the dragonfly, we also, and to cut out these 2 labels, cut those out. We also have this fun frame and this littler one. And we also have some little extra leaves. And we have, here's the body of the dragonfly, and these are the wings of the dragonfly that you can put together. Okay. All right. So I put those back. And so what I did was it cuts out 2 bodies. So I put the 2 bodies in there because I didn't want to lose them. So I'm going to set those up here. And because in this paper, I don't know if you can see that, but there's a little splash of copper foil. So I cut out the body of the dragonfly in some copper foil to go along with that. I'll set that up there. All right. I did take, I'll show you where I cut these from. I took this die right here. Whoa, that's really blurry. What's going on? What is going on? That's not good. I don't know why it's so blurry. Let me do this. Let me go back. Let me let's do this. Let's remove it from the stage and then let's add it back to the stage. It's still blurry. Okay. Let me unplug it from my whoops, sorry, I muted my mic in there. Sorry. There, is that better? It looks better on my part, so I hope that it's better on your part. I'm sorry that I lost volume for a while. I accidentally knocked the microphone, and so I turned off my volume. So I was talking to nobody. So there we go. I think we're back to being clear again. So I apologize for that. Okay, so here is the die that I used. And I cut that out of the Secret C. Let me put that on here so you can see it with the white background. Okay. And then, I don't know if it's because I'm going so close to the camera that it's getting blurry. It can't adjust. So I'm going to try to not go so close. So then I went through with some white and I cut it because it does cut the center out. So I cut a center in white. And I have a piece of crumb cake because there's crumb cake in there. And we're going to stamp that in Secret C. So I'm going to take this little lace stamp, this really big one. I'm just going to make sure that I don't get blurry again. I'm thinking it's because I was putting so many things up to, oh, I just did that again, up to my camera that's up there that it must not have wanted to focus. Right, so I'm going to stamp that. So there's that scallop. And through the magic of TV, I have that die cut already. All right, so that's going to go there. On my white, I am going to stamp my outside greeting, which is going to be, I'm here for you if you need me. Okay, so that is going to go right in the center there. And then I'm going to take my two white panels, which are right here. Okay, on the left-hand side, I'm going to take the crumb cake and I'm going to stamp those cattails along the left-hand side. And I'm even going to go off the page just a little bit with them. And then I'm going to take the dragonfly and just add one of those up here. And then I'm going to do take care on the other side. And I think I'm going to put a little dragonfly over there too. Okay, so we've got, this is going to be the back of our card. And then the front is going to be all of that scallopy stuff. Yeah, Sue, I loved this bundle. I thought it was so, I loved the greetings that were in it, and I loved the scallop, and I thought there's a lot of things that you can do. I love when greetings are more vertical like this rather than always being the long way. And so I scooped this one up with my very first order. So I'm going to set these aside. I'm going to put this back so I do not lose it. And we're going to put this together. Here's my, right, I'm going to get this out of the way because I don't have to show that to you anymore. So let's get it out of the way. I'm done stamping for this card. So let's move in our other pieces. And I'm going to get my bone folder. And so the center is on both of them is going to be a mountain so that you can make that diamond. So there is our mountain. All right, and then the outside pieces are going to be valleys. Okay, so it's going to look like a mountain with two little valleys on either side. We're going to do the exact same thing on this side. We're going to do a mountain and then two valleys. Okay. Now, normally when I cut these, I make sure that I cut the 5.5 inch side together because sometimes you can be off just a tad little bit. I did do that, but then when I went to go score them, I grabbed my cutting blade instead of my scoring blade and I cut that one. So I hope these are match up pretty close. If not, they might just be a little bit off and I can just trim that little bit if I need to. All right, our little 3/4 inch are going to go in each of these little sections on the front and the back. I don't know where my stamp and seal is, so we'll just go ahead and use this. Make sure I'm still in the camera. I'm kind of going out a little bit here. I'm going to put that there. And again, I'm going to keep it so that that's a mountain fold when I'm putting those on there. Simple cards are pretty too. I do some very simple cards sometimes, and sometimes those are just as pretty as the ones that take a long time to do a fun fold. So, all right, so those are there. And then here's our back side. So we want the mountain up, and we're going to put our little strips on there as well. So we're going to put that one there. And this one is going to go here. Now, someone told me that in Facebook, if you have a link to a YouTube video in your post, not everybody always sees it. So that's why I put that link. I don't know if you noticed today when I posted it that I ended up putting it in the comments instead. I've been told that's where you need to put it. Now, I don't get paid for my YouTube channel. I don't have that many followers. And I honestly, because I don't get paid, you probably don't get a bunch of ads in the middle of them, which is kind of nice. But I don't do this enough, and I don't want to do it any more than I do it because it takes a lot of time. So I just do it as a little side hobby and not to make money on these videos. Okay, so there we go. So this is going to be our back side where we can write a little greeting here and sign it. So we've got plenty of space to do that. And then our front side, before I put the paper on, you could do this after. If you forget to do it before, it works if you put it on after because it's going to be covered by the scallop anyway. So you don't have to worry too much about that. I'm going to take and crease these, and where we have the, where it is folded, that is going to go on either side of that score line in the center. So I'm going to go ahead, and if you feel safer using tear and tape here, you can. I feel like our liquid glue is a really, really good adhesive and holds it in place. And so I'm not going to be too concerned about this going anywhere, especially once you let it dry. Oh, thanks, Kay. Hey, I miss you guys when I don't get to go on. If it ever gets to be way, way, way too stressful, I mean, it's been stressful this year, but I was talking to my mom and dad this morning when I stopped over there to help them get their boarding passes for our flight tomorrow. And I said, I think I put most of the pressure on myself. You know what I mean? Like I expect a lot of myself. And it's not other people putting expectations on me. It's me putting expectations on myself. So I have to learn to give myself a little bit of grace, I guess, and not expect so much all the time. But all right, so we're going to put that on there and add a little glue and put this on here. Now you could put these together first. You put these two pieces together first. I like to, if I can figure out where everything has to go, I like to put all the paper on so that I know which way's the front and which way's the back and stuff like that. Okay, so this is how that's going to go together. So I'm going to go ahead and put adhesive. Now here's too where a lot of people use adhesive strips, and you can. I'm using liquid glue. It's a little bit more forgiving, and I have a little time to kind of wiggle it around, but then I do have to wait a little bit for it to dry. So I'm going to set this flat and line those up together. And then when I lay this flat, it should line up with that one. All right, so there is our diamond center diamond tower card, it's called. Don't you love this paper? I think it's so pretty. All right, so for this, what we're gonna do is, do you see the little, there's kind of like a little arc. There's two little arcs in there. This little piece right there goes in the top arc, and those three little dots go in that bottom arc of this. So if you slide this in here, you want to see the, I don't know if you can see that from there. I don't want to bring it too close and have it go blurry again. But to line it up, you're going to just make sure that you have the dots from the top are in the top one, and then the three little dots are in the bottom. And what I'm going to do is, this is actually, there's a couple of different, whoops, I'm missing one little piece, did not come out there. Okay, I'm just going to put this right along. Just be really, really careful. And go around this edge here. And then I kind of held it over the top. Now I can't put my head in here to look at it because I will be in the camera. And I'm kind of lining this up. And all of those little holes should be, all these little extra ones should just be the crumb cake coming through. There we go. Voila. And then we're going to put this in the center. I was going to raise this up, but when I did that, it looked a little bit different. So I ended up putting it down and just leaving it flat, because then I probably won't have to pay more for postage too. Always thinking. Okay, so that's right in there. And then that's going to go on here. Hi, Lila. Did you hear me talking? Are you wondering who's here? Or do you think you're missing out on someone? Oh gosh, my aunt is calling me. She's probably calling me to thank me for the birthday gift I sent her yesterday. I'll have to call her back as soon as my video's done. I meant to call her last night, but we had religion. She called me right during religion, right when I was teaching a class. And I forgot to call her afterwards because I ended up going to my mom and dad's. I have a little bit of glue underneath here that I got to take care of. Right here. There we go. There we go. Now I'm going to press it on there. And you want to press it until it holds. When I did that, it held a little bit too well, and the little bit of glue I had behind wasn't allowing it to pop up. Definitely going to have to do a little surgery there and get rid of some of that. All right. Then we have our dragonfly. And what I did for our dragonfly is I took the body part of it and I put that down first. And what I did was I took a glue dot, and sometimes if you take a glue dot and you roll it into like a little bit of a log, it gives it a little bit of a dimension feel without being a full dimension, because you can see that that has a little bit of dimension to it. And so I just put that on the head part of the dragonfly, and I just set that there. And then I took another glue dot and rolled it and put it right in the center where I'm going to attach that. I didn't know if I should go over the top of it or if I should go underneath it. And all of the pictures had the wings on the top and the body underneath. So that's what I did. And I'm going to just take this and bend it a little bit just to give it a little bit of dimension. Okay, so there's our little dragonfly on our thing. Now it needs some ribbon. This Secret Sea, what kind is this? Open weave, I think it's called. Yeah, open weave ribbon, I think is gorgeous. So we're going to go ahead and I have to clean my house yet tonight. I have someone stay with my dog. So I just want to go through the bathroom so that they're cleaned right before I leave instead of when I did clean them last, which was, oh gosh, it might have been was it last Friday? Okay, that's going to go right up there. It wasn't Saturday because my Saturday was way too busy. I think it was Friday night when I got home. I did it quick before I finished all my stuff for my getting ready for my card buffet. All right, so this is going to go here like that. I feel like it's finally getting close to being finished. I did bring out, like when I made mine, I left it just like that. But we have these metallic gems that I think are beautiful, and they come in copper, gold, and silver. And I really like the copper ones. So I think I'm going to take a couple of those and just set some big one and a small one here. And then I think I'm going to take a small one and set it. I'll put in the center of our dragonfly. There we go. Add a little bling to him yet. There we go. I think that's it. I keep going too far over. There is our finished card, and it stands up like that. Thanks, Kay. So there is our first, and I'll put the directions again down. I'm only going to make one card this time with the this fold. I do have this one as a sample that Marge had made. Okay, so she did hers exactly the same, but instead of doing the scallopy thing here, she cut out a rectangle that fit what she wanted to put in there. Okay, so beautiful card, Marge. And then here's my take on it with some of our newer product. Fun, fun, fun. All right. Everybody get the picture that they wanted. I will also be taking a picture and I will post them. And I will put it on my Facebook page, and I'll put it in the area. I think it says featured items or something like that. I will remove the one that's in there right now, and I'll put the new one in there. And if you are not on Facebook and you still want to participate, let me go ahead. Let's see, where's my mouse? There it is. Here is my email. And you could go ahead and you could email me a picture of your card, and I will post it on Facebook so that you for sure get entered into the drawing as well. All right, so awesome. Thank you guys so much, all of you that participated. It's so fun to see all of the things that you do with the fold as well. So let me put these aside. Set them over there. And we will take card number 2, which is also using some new paper and a new bundle as well. So if you participated in the retreat online, you received this, you could have received this bundle already, even if you are not a demonstrator. It's also going to be part of the online exclusive. So there was one stamp set that was in the retreat that was exclusive just for the retreat. Okay, you are not going to be able to buy it anywhere else. And then there was this bundle that was also in there that is going to be available starting next Tuesday with the online exclusives. So I loved You're on My Mind and In My Heart. We're actually going to be using that. But there's also a Thinking of You, Always and Forever, that could be used for weddings. There's these beautiful flowers. And then again, in the die cuts, now in the retreat, they used some of the designer paper and cut this out with the designer paper, which added a different look as well. So there's this big frame that can cut out the flowers around it. We have this piece right here. And then we have some little clumps of flowers. We have this leaf that's detailed. This right here cuts out that clump of flowers. This cuts out that flower. This cuts out that stem. These cut out those stems. And these are like your inside part of your leaves. And then you have some frames for some of the greetings that are on there. And these match up really nice. And you're going to see how I layered those tonight. All right, so this is called Forever Florals. This online exclusive set is, I just think there were so many things in the online exclusives this time that I was just like, oh my gosh, I love that. Oh my gosh, I love that. And so this was another one of those things. And then the paper we're going to be pairing it with, ooh, kind of stuck to my table here. Make sure it doesn't stick to anything else. This is called Wood Grain Wonders. And this is really different because there are basically three different colors, actually 4 different colors that you have. I don't know where my 4th one is, but when you flip it over, so like on the back of this one, oh, there we go, is the one that's more of the pecan pie. And then if I go on the back of this one, it's more of this. And if I go on the back of this one, it's more of that first one. So depending on, like, if you ever want to do a lot of cards with this brown color, you have more sheets to do it with because you have it on the one that's on this really light color, and you have it on the back of this one that's a little bit darker. So it's a little bit different. There's 4 different colors of wood grains, but you don't have like 4 different sheets. They're like intermixed kind of. All right. We are going to do a Dutch door. Here's my other dragonfly. I might make another one of those cards because I liked it. All right. We are going to make a Dutch door with that paper, and we're going to use that stamp set as well. So, oh, my stamps are here. I'm like, where are my stamps? All right. I have some early espresso, and this is 4 1/4 by 11. And I'm going to bring my paper trimmer in. I scored it at 5 1/2. And I'm going to show you what I mean when I say cut at 2 inches to the score line and then cut that piece off. So if this is the front of my card, I'm going to go down 2 inches. Bring my trimmer in here. I'm going to measure 2 inches. And I'm going to cut it until I get to the score line. And there's little arrows on either side to tell me where I'm at so that I can get it right to that score line. Okay. Then I'm going to go ahead and put this in my trimmer at 5 1/2 because that's where that score line is. And I want to make sure I'm cutting the right side. Is the 2 inches? Yes. 5.5. I'm going to go ahead and cut that top part off. So I'm just going to bring it down until I hear it or feel it kind of catch right there. Not quite. There we go. All right, and I'm just going to take my bone folder and kind of make sure that that doesn't, my trimmer is actually pretty good, but when you cut on a score line, it sometimes will leave a little bit of a mark. So I just like to use my bone folder and not push the corner up, but that's going to go ahead. So that's going to be my Dutch door card. All right, I have some mats and pecan pie. This one is 4 by 5 1/4, and this one is 2 by 5 1/4. I have a neutral layer, and mine is basic beige. That is 2 by 5 1/8. So this is going to be where I can write my greeting on the inside. I have a designer paper for the front, so this bottom part right here, that measures 1 7/8 by 5 1/8. So this is one of those wood grains. You can see that real well with all the lighting. And then I have one for the top that's actually on the inside that measures 1 3/4 by 5 1/8. I took the one that was basic beige, and I don't know if you can even see the wood grain in there because of my bright lights. But this is actually some of the DSP, and we're going to stamp right on that. Because this is going to stand up on this piece right here, I felt like it needed to be a little bit sturdier. So I did cut out one in just plain basic beige. Now you probably are like, those look exactly the same. But if I get this, and I don't want to get real, I don't know if you can see the wood grain in there or not, but there is actually a wood grain on there. And then I have another one of those for the inside. And along that, on the inside, I have the pecan pie one so that I can layer it. All right, I have some Very Vanilla that we're going to stamp on. And in Mossy Meadow, I cut 1, 2, 3. I think there should be a fourth one too. Here it is. 4 of those greeneries. All right, so I'm going to start with stamping because then we can just put everything together at once. So the things that I have to stamp are on this piece of Very Vanilla and on this, and then the one that is DSP. So I'm going to set all of this other stuff aside right now. Bring my stamping mat back in. And I'm going to use some early espresso ink. And I'm going to stamp the You're on My Mind on the one that's in the DSP. Now this just barely fits in there. But it does fit. Okay, so You're on My Mind. And then on the inside, which is going to be just the basic beige, it's going to say, And in My Heart. Ooh, got something hanging down there. Okay. All right. So those are going to be our greetings. And then on here, we're going to stamp ourselves some clumps of flowers. So I've got this clump of flowers, and I'm going to use Petal Pink as one of the colors. I'm going to do 2 in Petal Pink. And then we'll clean this up with my chamois. I'm going to slap it on my pants a little bit just to dry it off. then I'm going to use peach pie and do 2 in peach pie. Those were 2 colors that Stampin' Up! Told me went together, so I trusted them. Now, there is a die to cut these out, and through the magic of TV, here they are. Like, I better have them done. Okay, so here is a petal pink. I've got 2 of those, and I have 2 of the peach pies cut out already that we're going to use. I also cut a piece of the early espresso linen thread. I cut my piece too big when I was making this morning. I got up early this morning and made this because I knew I was going to go into work a little bit later. And so I didn't stay up last night. And I said, I'm going to go home. I'm going to go to bed and get a good night's sleep so that I can get up in the morning, hopefully have some creative juices in me, and make a card so that I'm ready to go for tonight. All right, let's go ahead and put this together. I've done this fold before, so you have probably seen this fold with me before. But I am going to place the one that says "and in my heart" is going to get attached to the pecan pie one. I loved how these layered on top of each other, because sometimes in order to layer something, you've got to cut it in half and you have to split it, and then it doesn't look like, which way do I cut it in half and have the stuff. So I like it when they have one that's just a little bit bigger and you can layer it like that. All right. This piece right here is going to get layered onto that mat of pecan pie that we had. Lila, are you wondering why I'm not paying attention to you? Oh, she's laying on her bed. I had my luggage out this week so that I could pack everything, because my mom and dad send their car down to Florida. Somebody drives it down there for us, and then we fly. And so whenever I have my suitcase out, she gets really like pouty and just kind of sits there and looks at you with those puppy dog eyes like, you're really going to leave me? And I brought it outside, and I think she thought, oh, she's leaving. And then I came home. But now I have my carry-on out, and she's wondering, are we going through all of this again? Are you going to still stay here? Are you leaving this time? I think that's what she's thinking. In my mom heart, that's what I think she's thinking. But like I said, I have somebody that comes and moves into my house, and she stays with her so she can sleep in her bed. She can, everything is familiar for her, and she doesn't have to, she's never been kenneled because she was a breeder dog. So this is going, I'm trying to get the same amount on all 3 sides. I should be telling you what I'm doing here. And there is going to be a little bit of a space in the middle here because I wanted the brown to show through. There we go. I wanted the brown to show through on the front, and I didn't want you to be able to see this basic beige. So there is a little bit of a line, but it's about the same, and this is going to go right in there. So it kind of mixes right in with that. So I'm going to go ahead and attach this. This is going to be my inside. Okay, and I'm just trying to center it right and left. And where that little peak is, that's going to go right in the center there. And I'm going to add a leaf right about there. And she's snoring now a little bit. that's going to be added right about there. And then I'm going to put one of these peach pie ones. I think I'm going to go this way with it a little bit. I don't want it to go over the words at all. There we go. Okay, and that's going to go on our inside of our card. Might be looking at it going, but that's going to get covered up. Yeah, we'll see. Okay, and then I'm going to close that up. I wanted to make this a little thicker because this is just DSP. So it is very, very clumsy, or not flimsy, I should say, not clumsy. A paper can't be clumsy. It can be flimsy though, and it's very flimsy. So I'm going to make it, I'm going to attach it to this piece of DSP just to make it a little bit sturdier. That also won't make it look so weird that I have a different color of wood grain on the back. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a dab of glue. I can see how wide it's going to be because I can follow the white there. So I'm going to put a dab of glue there, and I'm going to put it along the bottom. And then I'm going to line that right up with that white one that's on the inside. Okay, so you're on my mind. And then we open it up, and in my heart. Oh, fun. Okay, now we've got to decorate the outside. So I started with my linen thread. And I went ahead and made a bow. And it's kind of a big loopy bow, because I'm going to cover it all up with flowers. I'm going to put it about right in the corner there. Glue dots. And I'm going to figure out how long I want those once I have all the greenery and stuff in. All right, let's go ahead and add some greenery. I laid this all out a couple of times, and I started with doing the flowers that you don't have to stamp, that you can just cut with paper. And I sent that one to Kathy, and I'm like, okay, I have this, but I felt like I had to cover the holes of the centers of all of those up, because you could see this greenery through the holes in the back. And I'm like, I just don't really like that. So I put pearls in the center of all of them. And it's like, okay, I've got like 12 pearls on here. It looks a little bit like overkill. So I got to do something else. So then I'm like, let's stamp the images instead. So I decided to stamp the images. I was going to use peach pie as the base, but I really liked how the early espresso was the color that I used in my greeting and stuff, and I like how that ended up turning out. So I'm going to go ahead and stick this underneath here. I want it to stay on the card and not hang off the card, because it can hang up here. Like when I put this one on, it's probably going to hang off just a little bit. So I want to make sure at the very edges on this side, I don't put glue, because I liked how that just how it hung off a little bit. So we're going to go ahead and put that under there. And I'm just basically kind of picking a spot to put them. You can put them wherever you want. All right, I'm going to take my two petal pinks. I'm going to kind of figure out where I want them here. I think I want them like about like that. And then this is going to go over the top of them to make a clump of flowers like that. So fun. All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to take some Stampin' Dimensionals, some mini ones, and to try to make it as level as possible, I'm going to put them on either side of where I have my twine. Because if I put it on top of the twine, it's going to be really uneven, especially if it's over by that knot. So I just put a couple of dimensionals down. This is how I did it this morning anyway, and it worked pretty good. So I'm going to put that there. Whoops, that's that one. I'm going to put that one there, and I can see that I need another dimensional. That's what I did. I like, okay, where else do I need another dimensional? And it's going to be about right here. I'm going to stick one underneath there. And then this clump is going to go like that. So I want a double dimensional because it's laying on top of that. So I'm going to take two dimensionals and put them on top of each other like that. And put it right at the edge of that flower. I don't want to be able to see it from the front, so I got to make sure it's in enough. And then I'm going to take a glue dot. Oh, thanks, Sue. And I'm going to put that glue dot up there. Oh, and we're going to trim this twine now. I want it to be a little long. It's a little bit too long. There we go. And you can kind of curl it a little bit if you want to with a bone folder. All right, I didn't want pearls in the center of all those flowers because it looked kind of funny. So what I did was I took my Wink of Stella and I just went in and I colored each of the little centers so that there's a little bit of sparkle at the center of each one. And I'll hold this up there. I don't think you're going to be able to see them. But then instead of pearls, we have peach pie is going to be going out along with these. So these in color flat pearls, they are really flat, which I love about them. We've got our peach pie down here. So these are our colors that are going to be going out. You can kind of see it better on this one that isn't used. So it's peach pie, pretty in pink, shy shamrock, petunia pop, and then the one that's on the top is the summer splash. So those are the colors that will be going out this year, which is always sad. You get used to colors and then they're gone and you're like, oh, I want that color back again. Okay, so that one, is there one that you're going to be missing more? For me, it's probably going to be pretty pink. Pretty in pink, or I do like petunia pop. I do like peach pie and certain cards and stuff like that. So we're just going to pop some of those up there. So you're on my mind and in my heart. And that gives me room to write a little message here and to sign my name. And I don't have to write too much of a message because there's not too much space. But if you feel I do need to write more, then there is space there for me to write. You could always add another piece of the basic beige over here. I just added a little bit of bling to the center of those flowers with my Wink of Stella. So that is a Dutch door card. And again, the bundle, here it is. How can I have so much stuff in one little space? Is Forever Florals. Okay, so that's our bundle. There's our card with it, along with the wood grain. What did I say? Wood grain. Wood grain. Is it Wonders? Wood Grain Wonders, yes. And there's a total of 12 sheets in there. So lots and lots of wood grains. Right, so there's our card number 2. And then we have our card challenge. Let me grab that one. Is this one right here? Let's move this up a little bit. Move that over there a little bit. And here are the directions for our challenge and that card. So if you wanted to do a screenshot of all of them, you can. I will be taking a picture of this one along with the one that Marge made and with the directions so that you can see it. And I'll be posting those on Facebook before I leave for Florida. I'll probably do it right away so I don't forget. I had to scan a picture of my driver's license to check into our hotel and post it on their thing. And honestly, my driver's license is sitting here. As soon as I'm done, I've got to go put that back in my purse. I could see me getting to the airport tomorrow and needing a driver's license and being looking through my stuff going, where's my driver's license? And it's sitting in my stamp room. Oh, that would just be my luck. I would be so sad. Good thing I'm only like about 5 minutes from the airport, but still, oh, I got to go do that right away. All right. So that is our, oh, thanks, Kelly. All right, let me come back to you. I don't even know if this is set up anymore because I went out. Oh, yeah, it is. There we are. Here I am. All right, so that is it for tonight. I will not be live next Thursday, but then I will be live again the Thursday after. So thanks, Sue. I need Florida right now, so I just need a place to get away completely right now. It's been like I said, the program that I took over, there was really nothing there for me to use. And so I had to start from scratch with 11 grades of religion. And so it's been really time consuming and I've loved every minute of it. Don't get me wrong, I have absolutely loved it. But I'm a little stressed out right now. So getting away for a week and just being able to be away is going to feel really, really good. So I have a couple of books to read and I plan on just planting my butt right in the beach every single day and just soaking it all in. So thank you guys. I don't mean to rub it in, but thank you guys so much for joining me. I hope that this helps you to be creative. I look forward to seeing what you make with that center diamond fold card. And I will catch you in 2 weeks from today. Have a good one. Thanks a lot for watching me, and bye bye.